Major changes in PNP and work permits. Canada's immigration system is seeing major changes this July 2025, from updated PNP priorities and LMIA restrictions to IRCC delays and Ontario's bold plan for 100,000 provincial work permits. If you're planning to move, study, or work in Canada, these updates are essential. If you are interested in this topic, please pay attention and watch the video through to the end to get all the information. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. Canada's immigration landscape is undergoing some of the most significant adjustments in recent years as of July 2025. With fresh developments across provincial nominee programs, work and study permits, and IRCC policies, understanding these changes is crucial for anyone navigating Canadian immigration today. In this detailed update, we'll cover critical topics such as the Parents and Grandparents Program 2025 draw, new low-wage LMIA restrictions, Nova Scotia's PNP priority changes, Quebec's suspension of CSQ-based work permits, Ontario's post-secondary reforms, recent express entry draw trends, and updated IRCC processing timelines. Parents and Grandparents Program 2025 draw revives family reunification hopes. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada has officially announced the next round of invitations under the Parents and Grandparents Program. On July 28, 2025, IRCC will issue 10,000 invitations to potential sponsors who submitted interest to sponsor forms in 2020. This long-awaited move provides renewed hope for thousands of families seeking reunification under Canada's family class immigration pathway. Low-wage LMIA restrictions amid rising unemployment. High unemployment levels in several Canadian provinces have led to stringent restrictions on low-wage labor market impact assessments. Effective immediately, approvals for low-wage LMIA applications are largely halted in provinces like Ontario, Alberta, and British Columbia, except for certain rural and priority zones such as Greater Sudbury and Thunder Bay. These restrictions are a direct response to domestic labor concerns and a push to prioritize local workforce integration over foreign hiring in non-essential sectors. Nova Scotia PNP priority shift, focus on essential occupations. The Nova Scotia nominee program has introduced a priority realignment for the 2025 to 2026 period. The new direction will primarily target healthcare, construction, and regional workers, with reduced focus on the STEM and energy sectors. This strategic pivot is aligned with labor market demand forecasts and aims to stabilize essential services in underserved communities. Quebec suspends CSQ-based work permits for out-of-province applicants. A major change comes from Quebec's Ministry of Immigration, Francisation and Integration. As of January 16, 2025, the province has suspended the issuance of work permits under Code A76 for individuals who obtained their Certificat de Sélection du Québec but are currently residing outside the province. This policy is part of Quebec's broader attempt to reinforce its jurisdictional autonomy and ensure that selected immigrants remain committed to settling within the province. Ontario's post-secondary funding reform, the end of tuition freeze. Ontario has unveiled a sweeping post-secondary education reform set to be implemented by 2026. In a move to reduce dependency on international student tuition, the government will end the ongoing tuition freeze and reallocate resources to support domestic student access. This shift is expected to impact up to 80,000 local students who were previously denied program seats due to oversaturation from international enrollment. Express entry trends, declining CRS scores for CEC draws. Canada's express entry system continues to show signs of flexibility, especially under the Canadian Experience class. The latest comprehensive ranking system cutoff was 518, with predictions suggesting further drops to 515 or lower in upcoming rounds. This is promising news for temporary residents looking to transition to permanent residency, particularly those with Canadian work experience. IRCC processing times, rising delays and rejections. Processing times remain a pain point for applicants in mid-2025. IRCC reports the following average timelines. 1. Work permits from India, 6 weeks. 2. Study permits within Canada, 11 weeks. 3. Visitor visas from India, 29 days. In addition, rising rejection rates across study and work permits, especially for applicants from high-volume regions, are prompting calls for greater transparency and procedural reforms. Premier's push for immigration power, Ontario plans 100,000 work permits. Canada's 13 premiers are demanding more control over immigration to address labor shortages, housing strain, and public service pressure. Ontario Premier Doug Ford is leading the charge by proposing provincial work permits for asylum seekers, citing federal delays of over 2 years. He invokes Section 95 of the Constitution, which allows provinces to legislate immigration within federal bounds. The premiers argue that federal immigration cuts, including a 50% reduction in the provincial nominee program, hinder their economic development, especially in sectors like manufacturing, healthcare, and services. Provinces like Manitoba, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick depend heavily on the PNP. Public sentiment is cooling on immigration, leading Ottawa to introduce the Strong Borders Bill and reduce intake targets. However, premiers say federal policies don't reflect local realities. The federal government, led by Minister Lena Diab, promises collaboration and has invested $3.2 billion in settlement services, but tensions remain. If Ford's plan succeeds, it could inspire nationwide reform, setting a precedent for a decentralized, regionally responsive immigration system, balancing economic needs with social capacity. Legal, administrative, and political challenges remain, but change is clearly underway. Canada's immigration path is shifting fast. With provinces pushing for more power and federal policies under pressure, staying informed is key. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.